did a couple of months back, we had a Yes Youth Can, which was a canned food drive,
Yes,
but it was a football,
yeah.
it was a football tournament as well. That was something born many years in Mr. Manning's office amongst myself and my now personal assistant and best friend, Mr. Akim Alexander. He and I spoke about it some years ago, and we were able to bring this thing to reality with a strong team of people. Everybody played their part, and everybody was able to make this thing into a reality. And you came out, you saw the young people playing football, and then we had entertainment after. Keep the young people busy, and crime would not be, it wouldn't be an option. But as well as, see, I'm not an ostrich. I don't have my head buried in the sand. So I do meet with the police often, right? San Fernando Police and Monrepo Police. We meet very often and we discuss the crime situation. And in Pleasantville, there would have been, in the last 6 years, more patrols.
Okay.
Residents don't, I mean, for those who are honest with themselves, sometimes I ask them, let's be honest, you see a lot more police than you did before, right? And that wasn't by chance. If they're viewing, it is because you have a representative, right? People would say that when Mr. Manning was there, we needed a police post. If I had the power as a councillor to put a police post in Pleasantville, I would. I have limitations as a councillor. I am just a councillor. To me, I tell people, all a councillor is, I get an opportunity once a week to put on a shirt and a tie to go and talk for you all. I am no different. I don't want to be treated different, even though as a public figure, people treat you different. That's the hardest thing ever, because you know you battle between your personal and your public life, right? So, you know, those are the things that drive me and motivate me, right? But I think that is the ingredients to stop some of the scourge of crime within our community.
Okay. What are the plans for the remainder of the year? What sort of projects that you have you're looking forward to?
Well, we just started another mural coming in on Shakonia Avenue. Now, I'll take this opportunity because I can. I read somewhere yesterday where a resident from Pleasantville tried to criticize me regarding putting another mural. Actually, she wrote and said something about why is the finance committee considering doing another mural. Let me make people understand this. By trade, I am an artist. I see beauty in everything. And what art does is, art is the first form of communication. Before people could have write, they could have drawn something, a symbol. And what you do by leaving your footprints is what you're empowering generations and generations to come. Because I would have contributed, but you see no picture of me anywhere in Pleasantville. But there are people, right, who would have contributed, just like bricks, to building Pleasantville to what it is. Cecile Hines, she is the first female FIFA referee for Trinidad and Tobago. She deserves to be honored in some way. Mr. and Mrs. Critchlow, educators, many years in the Pleasantville Secondary School, they deserve to be acknowledged. And you know, the thing is this, I'm fortunate. People would think that it's a set of money that we spend or whatever. But on that project in particular, an NGO took it on as a project, and the artist that we are paying, we're only paying $3,500 to a renowned artist. And he's very difficult, I must admit, because, you know, he knows that he's usually paid more than that. But I am humbled because here it is that we are introducing that to Pleasantville. And you see, when you have projects like this, you change the mindset of people, right? And people desire and want to perhaps, well, maybe I could do something and one day I could be on a wall of fame or whatever. You have to do these things. I am not a minister. I don't have the resources to change people's lives right away. But I could change the way people think for generations to come. And that is really and truly my whole thrust, right? So good. I see we're going the year, right? So you're seeing the disabled ramp that we put in. This Right here is the Pleasantville Wall of Fame. Right? You would see some of the faces of some of the people that contributed towards our community. You have Ken Fillmore, you have Mr. Roach, who is the founder of the Kalamo Kings Panyard and Pan side. You have Mr. Dionarine Singh. He comes from the original family in Pleasantville, and they live in the coconuts, the area that we call the coconuts, and he's the Hindu spiritual leader for our community. Mr. Nolly Huggins, he was a former councillor, alderman in the San Fernando City Corporation. You have Miss Elma Sampat. She was the oldest public servant, right? The longest serving public servant in Trinidad and Tobago. She lives in Pleasantville as well. Well, this gentleman doesn't live in Pleasantville, but obviously he contributed for many, many years to San Fernando, and this is Mr. Patrick Manning. Mr. Winston Moore, former ambassador for Brazil and former alderman for the San Fernando City Corporation. Mr. Lioto. Mr. Lioto was the first councillor for Pleasantville. You have Miss Olive Smith. She was the first president of the village council in Pleasantville. You have Mr. Ian Deming. He represented Trinidad in basketball, and he came out of this community. And then obviously you know Mr. Michael Maurice, who was a part of the strike squad in 1989, and he's also a resident of Pleasantville. So we spent a good bit of money in refurbishing here. We did over the floors, we put a new bench, thick bench, we replaced the roof, and we reinforced it with steel. Before this was wood. So this is going to be here for quite some time. We're going to do over the sidewalk. We're doing over the sidewalk, right? We put in a sidewalk there as well. So this is a historical landmark in Pleasantville, and for the contribution that we've made to refurbishing it, I'm really proud of.
Sometimes I find it far too, common in communities that when you ask a young person, well, can you name somebody from a community who has achieved something they don't know, because history is lost, right? And I must congratulate you on what you have achieved so far. I want to give you the last 2 minutes or so in this program to really talk to your community, and tell them your feelings and what you would like them to know about the job that you're doing.
Well, I'll look directly in the camera and say this. I love Pleasantville, right? I thank them for the opportunity to have had 2 terms to serve you. I'm humbled by it. And I want to have the ability to continue serving you to the best of my ability. My portfolio in council is the chairman of physical infrastructure and transportation in the city, which would have meant not only am I the representative for Pleasantville, but you would see different projects around the city that have my stamp on it. For instance, the Renzi Curtin traffic issue, the designated parking areas. Then right now we're working on a queue for parking for the taxis at Gulf City, High Street. These are things that I am working on. It has been a learning experience for me. It's been a humbling experience for me as well. And I would like to partner with you. Just come. I don't bite. I'm a regular person. And you always get people thinking that, oh, he's a councillor, I can't talk to him, whatever. Come to me. My office is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think I'm perhaps more accessible because I have more office days than all of the councillors. And I just continue to be humbled by what I'm doing. And I thank the Lord Jesus Christ for giving me the opportunity to serve on this level. So that's as much as I have to say.
Councillor, it was indeed a pleasure, and let me wish you all the best, and as we continue to look at the great success and the achievements here in Pleasantville. With dear viewers, we have come to the end of another edition of Community Corner here on Acts 25. You heard all the good things about what Councillor Parris is doing in the community, and for those of you who live in the community of Pleasantville, you got to appreciate, because we complain, but when someone is doing something, we do not come out and give them that support. And that is what Councillor Parris needs. He needs your support. It cannot work, one hand don't clap. So for it to be achieved, you, the community people in the community needs to come out and support your councillor. And then you have to show him appreciation. You have to let him know that he's doing a good job. That way, it will inspire him to continue. So we hope that you enjoyed this episode. Remember, Community Corner is on every Thursday at 6 p.m. And if you miss Thursday, there is a repeat at 12 noon on Friday morning. So again, thank you viewers for staying with us, and we hope you enjoyed this segment. See you next week Thursday at 6 p.m.